Good morning. Namaste to each of you. Thank you for joining me this morning to honor your mind and your body and your spirit. Let's just take a moment to become present, finding a nice, comfortable seated position on a block or pillow, blanket, something that allows the back of your spine and the back of your neck to sit nice and long and tall, opening up your chest and opening up your diaphragm and opening up your heart. Let's gently close our eyes and soften our thoughts. Soften our eyes. Soften our shoulders. And soften our heart. Observe your breath as it is, soft and gentle, breathing life into you with each inhale and relaxation with each exhale. Feel the grace of being present, returning to that awareness again and again. You may open your eyes now. For this morning's intention, you may think of a positive word or phrase to have with you on your mat and perhaps carry with you throughout the day. This morning's intention I'd like to talk about is embracing winter. There are so many ways to enjoy winter. You can stay indoors and find a cozy or hygge things to do, such as reading in front of the fire or making a pot of soup or knitting with a spot of tea at your side. Basically, pausing and replenishing. Another way to embrace winter is to go outdoors and have fun. Build a snowman, go on a winter walk, go skiing, either downhill or cross country, skating, or even snowga, which is being outside in the snow doing a yoga class. Probably not recommended today since it's so chilly. But any of these outdoor activities and yoga are complementary in that they require coordination of the muscles in your upper and lower body and strength and flexibility, as well as mindfulness. I love going outdoors in winter, snowshoeing with Oscar every morning, and going on the quick, hopefully weekly cross-country ski. Just like 40 minutes, and I'm happy. And my yoga practice helps me to keep active outdoors in the winter by strengthening my core, the leg and glute muscles, stabilizing my spine and pelvis area to help me maintain balance, and then providing flexibility to help me to adjust to certain terrain, and mindfulness to help me stay calm and focused and present. So let's go and start our yoga practice today. So I have read an article this week in the Yoga Journal that was titled 3 Warming Breaths, Pranayama Perfect for Winter. And these pranayamas are used before winter workouts and snow sports, or just to be able to beat the cold and dry of winter, like if you have sinus issues because of the dryness. So these three pranayamas that this article recommended is the Ujjayi breath, which we know as, I call it the soundtrack to our yoga practice. It's also known as the ocean breath because of that sound it makes. It's that breathing into your hand, and you hear that sound in the back of your throat. And the inhale is the Darth Vader sound that you can feel on the back of your throat. The second one is lion's breath. And lion's breath, well, actually, I should mention that the Ujjayi is a warming breath. It warms you from the inside out. And then the lion's breath, it actually builds heat. And it's a quick burst of action. And it also is it's just a great breath. Although it's kind of a silly breath, it's a great breath all year round. And it just basically, you're inhaling through the nose and you opening your mouth and going. So inhale through the nose and exhale. And it's the opposite of the Sitali breath that we do in the summertime, where you're breathing through your mouth, so you're cooling yourself off, and exhaling through your nose. So kind of the opposite effect of that. And the other one is the Kapalabhati breath, or breath of fire. Just kind of, as it says, it's kind of a bellows breath. So it helps you to activate your internal fire. And that one is all down here. It's, you may want to have a tissue around when you're doing it. But that, it's like that bellows thing. So we're going to do our normal sun breath and chest openers, but we're going to incorporate some of these breaths into it. And then at the very end of that sun breath, we'll do just a couple rounds of the Kapalabhati. There we go. Kapalabhati. So bringing our fingertips to the side, we're just going to slowly inhale using your Ujjayi breath. Kind of hear that sound, that ocean sound. Bringing your hands together overhead, and then exhale, bringing them down. Hear that Darth Vader sound, or that blowing on your mirror sound. Inhale. That's the Darth Vader sound. And then exhale. Inhale up. All being the Ujjayi breath. And then we're going to exhale doing the lion's breath. Down. So we'll do that a couple more times. So inhale, coming up using the Ujjayi breath. And exhale down. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale up. And then lion's breath. One more time. Inhale up. Ujjayi breath. Exhale down. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale up. And lion's breath. All right. And then we'll do like 3 rounds of Kapalabhati. So the bellows portion. You can go as fast or as slow as you want. We'll start with a big inhale and then exhale. And then stop and return to your normal breath. And then we'll big inhale again. And then Kapalabhati. And then relax, returning to your normal breath. And the last one, big inhale. And returning to your normal breath. Great. So maybe that warmed you up a little bit. We'll see. I have some other things that will warm you up as we prepare for our kind of getting in condition for being outdoor sports. So let's come to our hands and knees, come to tabletop, where our shoulders are right above our wrists and hips are right above the knees, navel's tucked to the spine. Gentle pressure in your hands with your fingers spread apart, really creating that distance between your shoulder and your ears, distributing your weight evenly in your hands. And then we'll just turn our head to the right, nice and gentle and slow, and then bringing it back to center and gently flow it over to the other side. And then back to center, inhaling over to the right. Exhale down, inhale over to the left. Back to the right, just creating a nice even flow. Over to the left. And one last time to the right. And one last time to the left. Then we'll come back to center, back to tabletop, and go into a few cat-cows. We're going to round our back on exhale. Then inhale, lifting the head and tailbone up for cow. And see if you can incorporate your Ujjayi breath in the knees. Rounding your back again on the exhale for cat. Inhale, lifting the head and tailbone up for cow. And exhaling, dropping the head and tailbone down, rounding the back for cat. And inhaling up for cow. Just continue this flow for a few more movements. And then come back to tabletop. We're going to bring both knees together, do some bird dogs. So again, with your weight evenly distributed in your hands, we're going to lift up the right leg and lift up the left arm. Toes pointed back, fingers pointed forward. And then we're going to bring the knee and the elbow together underneath our torso and then extend back out. So knee to elbow, and then extend back out, knee to elbow, extend back out, knee to elbow, extend back out, knee to elbow, and extend back out. One more time, knee to elbow, extend back out, and bring both down. We'll switch sides. So extending the left leg straight back, pointing the toes, fingertips on the right hand lifted, pointing forward. And then we'll bring the elbow and knee together and extend it. Elbow to knee and extend. Elbow to knee, extend. Elbow to knee, extend. Elbow to knee, extend. One last time. Elbow to knee, extend, and bring hands and knee back down. We'll bring the knees out to the edge of the mat, bringing the big toes together, lowering our hips to our ankles, coming into extended child pose. Bringing our forehead down toward the mat. Really feeling that stretch in our lower back and spine. And then we're going to keep our knees where they are, our big toes touching, and our hands extended. We're going to come back up, and then we'll go back down. And just when you come back up, just make sure this feels comfortable to you. And then we'll go back down. And then we're going to come back up, but we're going to come over to the left side, kind of making a circle. So send your body over to the left and then come back up to the straight position where you were. And then circle over to the right. And then come back down to child's pose. And we'll do that again 2 more times. So circling your body to the left, then back to the top of the mat, and then circling to the right, and then back to child's pose. 1 more time, continuing that circle, the left, straight up, then to the right, and come back down to child's pose. And we're going to reverse that for 3 times, so you can move in your own pace, coming to the right, straight up, over to the left, and then coming back down, over to the right again, back up, to the left, sending your heels back down to your hips back down to child's pose, and then one last time over to the right, straight up to the left, and then back down to child's pose. Really stretch it out. Then we'll come back to tabletop. We'll tuck our toes under and walk our hands back, and we'll come up on the balls of our feet. But what we're going to do this time, not go straight up to mountain pose, we're just going to balance here for a few moments. So if you bring your hands to Anjali Mudra, and just feel that balance in your feet. Feet are strong, strong, strong. And then we'll put our hands back down and then push into our balls of our feet and come up to mountain pose. Bringing our big toes to the straight edge of the mat. We're going to lift our toes up and spread them apart, bringing them back down, and then lift our heels up and bringing them back down. Really feel that connection to the mat. Feel that connection to the earth. You might be under a few inches or feet, hopefully at some point this winter, feet of snow, but really feeling connected to the earth, really feeling grounded. And that's what mountain pose does, that stillness and strength and support. And then also mountain gives you that essentials of good posture, so our legs are nice and straight and strong. Little flex in our knees, in our life. Our navel's tucked to the spine, elongating the spine and the back of the neck. Shoulders are relaxed and rolled back. Chin's tucked slightly back to create that nice long line in the back of the neck. And then the crown of the head's reaching up to the sky. We're going to sweep our hands up overhead. Big inhale. And then exhale, bringing our hands down to the mat, bending our knees as we go, supporting our lower back. And then bringing our hands to our shins, flattening out the back, the spine and the back of the neck, and nice and long and straight. And then sending the crown of our head down toward the mat. Let's just let our hands dangle here in the air, let gravity take over for a moment. And check in where you are today. And then we'll sweep our hands all the way up overhead. And as we bring our hands up overhead, we're going to come up onto our tippy toes. The hands will come together. Stretch up to the sky. And then slowly lower our hands and lower our heels back down to the mat. And we'll do that a couple more times. So again, slowly lifting your hands up, slowly coming up onto your tippy toes. Arms come together overhead, stretching up to the sky, and then bringing your hands down, slowly bringing our heels down slowly. And then one last time, sweeping our hands up as we come up onto our tippy toes. And reach for the stars. And then come down. We'll bring our hands all the way down to the mat, bending our knees as we go. Inhale, bringing hands to the shins, nice flat back, nice straight line with the back of the neck. And then setting the crown of the head down toward the mat. And sweeping our hands all the way up overhead. We're going to bring our palms together again, and this time we're going to interlace our fingers, except for the index finger, which points straight up to the sky. And we'll tip our torso over to the right, kind of popping our left hip out to the side, and then coming back up again. We'll do that over to the left, popping the right hip out to the side, which doesn't seem to pop as well as the other side for me. We'll try that both sides again, leaning over to the right, and then back up, and then over to the left, stuck, and then back up, and then lowering our hands down to the mat, bending our knees as we go, lifting our hands to our shins, nice flat back. Sending the crown, the head down toward the mat. And then sweeping our hands up again, bringing them up overhead. Palms come together and palms come to heart center. We're going to do a few extending the legs back, and I'm going to turn to my side just so you can see a little bit better. So with our hands in Anjali Mudra, we're going to just lift we'll start with the right leg, lift our right leg so like it's sitting in a chair. And then we're going to drop the toes first in back of us, just slightly in back. Don't go too far in back. And then roll the foot down. So it starts with the toes, then to the ball of the foot, and then all the way down to the heel so that the whole foot's connected to the mat. Your left leg will be slightly bent in the knee. And just kind of feel your position here. Feels solid and secure in it. And then bring the foot back to mountain pose. And we're going to do that again, but we're going to just drop our foot back just a little bit further. So again, raising the right leg up, coming into the 90-degree angle, and then sending our toes back just a little bit further, and then rolling down on our foot. And our left knee will be bending even further. So trying to connect the entire right foot to the mat. Find your stability here. And then return to mountain pose. I'll do that one more time and sending the foot back even a little bit further. Raising up and then sending our toes back and then rolling our foot down. Left knee bends even further. So we're in a lunge at the end. All right, let's do that on the other side. Lifting our left leg up. We're going to start with sending our toes just a little bit behind our right foot. So ever so slightly behind. Start with a toe, roll it down to the ball of the foot, and then down all the way to the heel. So the entire foot's connected to the mat. And then we'll return to mountain. We'll do that again, lifting the left leg up, sending the left toes just a little further back, starting with the toe, then the ball of the foot, and all the way down the heel, bending the right knee. Now the mini lunge position. And then returning to mountain. And one last time, lifting the left leg up, sending it further back, connecting the toe, then the ball of the foot, and then the entire foot with the front knee, right knee bent. Just feel nice and stable in each of these. All right, and then we'll return to mountain pose. We'll sweep our hands up and overhead with a big inhale. And then exhale, bringing our hands down to the mat, bending our knees as we go. Inhale, bringing our hands to our shins, nice flat back. And then sending the crown of our head down toward the mat. Then sweeping our hands all the way up overhead. Palms come together. Palms come to heart center. And palms come to the back of the hips for supported back bend. Fingertips pointing down, palms resting against your hips. Shoulders are relaxed. Roll back. Chin's tucked toward your chest. Just send your shoulders back to the point where you can keep breathing nice, even flows. Maybe use your ujjayi breath here to listen to your breath. See how evenly it's flowing. Maybe adjust your back bend if you feel that one flow isn't as equal as the other flow. Inhale and exhale. And then come back up to mountain pose. All right. So we're going to start with a little cardio too, kind of warming ourselves up still in this cold morning. So we're going to start with chair pose. So just kind of bringing your arms out in front and then coming down to chair pose. And then we sweep our hands down and in back of us. And then sweep our hands up again. And as we come up, we're going to send our right foot back. And then coming back down, we're going to send our foot back to chair pose. So we're back to chair pose with our arms extended in back of us. And then we're going to sweep our hands up to the sky again. And as we do, we're going to send our left foot back down. So again, hands come down, come back down to chair pose. Hands extend behind us. And as we sweep them back up, this nice even flow movement, we're going to send our right foot back. And then back down, back to chair pose. And then sweeping our hands back up, bending our left foot back. So we kind of got the rhythm now, so we're going to actually speed it up a little bit. So you can speed it up to whatever speed you like. Just kind of building up a little heat and a little motion here. If you're a cross-country skier, probably recognize this a little bit. Pushing back, planting your poles in front. And if you reach your speed that works for you, for fastness, and then we're going to start to slow down again. Really, when you slow down, really accentuate those chair poses. Bending your knees, lifting up. And we'll slow down even further. Come to our last couple of them. And reaching up, coming into mountain pose, and then bringing our hands down. And get your heart going a little bit. And we'll continue that. I'm going to step to the center first. On the long way of the mat. And I'm going to put my hands on my waist and send my right foot over to the right corner and lunge into it. So my toes facing the corner, top corner of my mat, and then back, and then over to the left and lunge into that, and then back. We'll do a few of these. So lunge, back, lunge, back, lunge, back. A nice even rhythm here. And if you'd like, you can raise your arms up. We'll do a few more of these. Let's slow it down a little bit. And then coming back to mountain pose. And let's just take 3 deep breaths. Try to slow our heart down a little bit further. So inhaling up and then exhaling down. Do that 2 more times. Inhale up and exhale down. And one last time. Inhale up and exhale down. Your heart should have come back a little bit normal. Alrighty, so just sweep my hands up overhead and we'll go into a forward fold, bringing our hands all the way down, and then we'll plant them on the mat and send the right foot back, coming into runner's lunge. So the left knee is over the left ankle, hands are framing the left foot. We'll keep the right hand down and sweep the left hand all the way up to the sky, following it with my gaze. And then bringing that left hand down, but I'm going to bring it to the side of my right hand. So I'll have my left foot, my left hand, and my right hand going from left to right. So this is lizard pose. And you have different options here. With lizard pose, you can keep your hands on the mat with the elbows extended and your knee up. Your left leg should be kind of against your left arm. So they're kind of side by side. So that's one option. Or you can bring your knee down to the mat and have that be another option. Or bring your elbows down to the mat or to a block, and that's another option. I think I should have brought my block here. But this is a great stretch for any outdoor sport. You have your hamstrings and your glutes and your quads, the spine's getting stretched. All sorts of stretches going on here. And then we'll come back with our hands framing our left foot. Back knee is down on the mat. And we're going to walk our hands back, straightening our front leg, flexing the toes up to the sky. Stretching the hamstrings out, and then walk our hands forward, all the way forward, keeping the knee in front of or behind the toe, but extending our chest open. Just kind of lifting our head up, sending our gaze straight ahead, and opening up our chest. And we'll do that 2 more times. So walk your hands back, straightening the left leg, sending the left toes up to the sky, and then walk forward, sending the knee a little bit forward, but not beyond the toes, sending your gaze straight ahead, opening up your chest. And one last time, walking the hands back, toes flex up to the sky, and then walk our hands forward, bending the knee, keeping it behind the big toe, sending our gaze forward, opening up our chest. Now we'll bring both hands to the side of the mat and tuck our back toe under and walk our hands all the way back to our back toe. Our back toe should be facing the long edge of the mat. No angle, just keep it straight. And then we're going to come into a one-legged squat. So we'll squat, bending the right leg, extending the left leg, and the left toes up to the sky. And then we'll walk our hands back to center. Our feet can be angled with the heels tucked in here. Bend the knees slightly, bringing our hands to our hips, to our waist, and then bringing our torso straight up. We're going to pivot both feet to the left, coming into warrior two. Of course, my favorite. So your knees right over your ankle, back foot is angled, and back edge of the foot is nice and snug in the mat. Chest is open to the long edge of the mat. We'll sweep the hands up to shoulder height, sending our gaze to our left fingertips. Really feeling that connection to the mat, to the ground, that grounding that this pose also provides. And then we'll straighten out the left leg, reach our left fingertips forward, and send them down into triangle pose. Right arm goes up, and send your gaze to your right hand. And then we're going to pivot, bringing the right hand down, coming into runner's lunge, and then bringing the right foot to meet the left foot, forward fold, and then sweeping the hands all the way up to the sky. Palms come together, palms come to heart center, onto the mudra. And we'll do that on the other side. So sweeping the hands up again, overhead, palms come together, palms come all the way down to the mat. You're bending your knees, planting your hands on the mat. We're going to send the left leg back this time. Coming into runner's lunge, with the knee right over the ankle, left heel's pushing toward the back of the mat. Right foot's framed with your hands. We'll plant the left hand in the mat, on the mat, and sweep the right hand all the way up to the sky. And then bringing the right hand down, and then bringing it to the inside of the right foot, so that you have from left to right, your left hand, right foot, coming into lizard pose. Again, you can stay here. Your right arm and your right leg are side by side, buddy like. And you can bring your left knee down to the mat, have this version of lizard pose, or you can bring your elbows down to the mat. In this version of lizard pose with a block would be helpful. And then we'll bring ourselves back up, back to framing the right foot with our hands. And then we're going to extend the right leg so that it's nice and straight, walking our hands back, and our right toes are going to pop up and flex, pointing up to the sky. And then we'll walk our hands forward, sending our knee just slightly forward, not beyond the toe, and setting our gaze straight ahead, opening up our chest. And then walking your hands back again, straightening that right leg, flexing the toes up to the sky, and then walking back, extending our chest forward, our heart forward. And one last time, walking back, straightening the leg, flexing the toes up to the sky, and walking forward, extending the knee a little bit further forward and opening up our chest. And we'll bring both hands to the left side, tuck our left toe under, coming back to runner's lunge. We're gonna walk our hands all the way down to our left foot. Our left foot again is straight, not at an angle. And then we're gonna bend our knee, coming into a one-legged squat. Right leg is extended with the toes flexed up to the sky. And then we'll walk our hands back to center. Our feet are angled at this point. Heels tucked in at 45 degrees. Gently bend your knees, bringing your hands to your waist, sending your torso straight up. Look around. And then we'll pivot both feet to the right, come into warrior two. So the right knee's over the right ankle, back foot's nice and snug in the mat. Chest is open to the long edge of the mat, sweeping our arms up and sending our gaze to our right fingertips. And we'll straighten our right leg up. Reach forward with our right fingertips and send them down to triangle pose. And then we'll bring the left hand back down, pivoting on our feet, coming into runner's lunge. And then bring that left foot forward to join the right, coming into forward fold. And then sweeping our hands all the way up overhead. Palms come together. Palms come to heart center. Pranayama Mudra. Well done. All right. We'll bring our pinky toes to the edges of the mat, tucking the heels in slightly. We know what's coming. Bring them into the wide-legged squat. So slowly lowering our hips down toward our ankles, bringing our torso between our knees. Elbows rest on the inside of the knees. You can guide your hands down toward the mat, just giving your lower back just a little bit more stretch. And then we'll bring our sit bones onto the mat and we'll roll down. Your choice, with knees bent, knees straight. Express method. We'll end up with knees to chest, so whichever you like. I think I'll just keep my knees bent today, slowly lowering down. And bring knees to chest, give them a nice hug. rock back and forth, massage your lower back. And then make nice big circles with your toes. You can go one way and then the other. And then we're going to bring both feet down to the mat, preparing for bridge pose. So tucking the heels as close to the hips as you can. Arms are alongside of you with your palms facing down to provide support. Shoulders are nice and snug in the mat. Navel's tucked to the spine. And we'll create that little bit of bowl in our tummy and gently push down to the feet, lifting our hips slowly up to the sky. We'll do 3 of these so you can adjust your height as you go along. Knees are parallel. Gaze is straight up to the sky. And then slowly lowering back down, one vertebra at a time, really connecting that spine with the mat as you go down. Gives it a nice massage. Okay, we'll do that again. So tucking the navel to the spine, creating that bowl, pushing down your feet, lifting your hips up to the sky. Again, you can adjust a little bit higher up if you like, maybe rolling your shoulders underneath slightly. Pause here for a moment. Really feel that energy in your quads. And then slowly lowering down, one vertebra at a time. Okay, and last time, navel's tucked to the spine, creating that bowl, pushing down the feet, lifting up. Again, you could adjust your height, maybe rolling your shoulders under, interlacing your hands underneath your torso. And then releasing, coming back down to the mat. We'll bring the knees back to the chest, interlacing the hands around them. Give them a nice hug again. And then this next pose, its nickname is the dead bug, but it's a riff off of what we did earlier, the bird dog. So pretend you're doing bird dog and you're in tabletop position, but upside down. So your knees and your legs are as if your knees are on the mat and the tops of your feet are on the mat and your hands are on it. So here with bird dog, we extended one leg forward or back and then other opposite hand forward. So we're going to do the same thing. So my recommendation is to focus on the hand that stays theoretically on the mat, but it's in the air. So I'm going to focus my hand on my right, or my eyes on my right hand. I'm going to send my left arm up over my head and my right leg down. And then bringing them all back together into tabletop. And this time, focus on your left hand. You drop your right hand back and send your left leg down. And then bring everything back. So again, focus on the right. Drop the left hand back. The right leg goes down. It was easy when we were doing it the other way, right? So we'll come back to tabletop, focus on our left hand, drop the right hand overhead, and send the left leg down. And see if you can speed it up a little. I'll give you some time to play with this. Keeping that focus on that one hand, keeping that one hand stationary really helps. Remember to keep your navel tucked to your spine. I didn't mention that, but that really helps. And when you're sending your feet down, you can send them as low to the mat or high to the sky, as comfortable to your back. Everybody getting the hang of this now? Woohoo! Great for your core, great for your coordination. We'll just do a couple more. All righty, come back to tabletop. And for those skiers out there, this is the dead bug. And if you're a cross-country skier and you've fallen in the snow, the way to get up is to have your skis up, nice skis, your poles to the up slope of the mountain, and you're going to turn over to the down slope of the mountain. And it's a traditional way of getting up called dead bug. But for now, we're just going to prepare for Shavasana. So I guess keeping on the theme, Shavasana also is called corpse pose. So this is our relaxation. Sending our heels down to the corners of the mat, letting our feet just flop open. Arms, you can bring them to your tummy and your chest and then just open them up, palms facing up. Shoulders are nice and relaxed. Corners of your mouth are turned up, placing a nice gentle smile on your face. And just take a few deep breaths. You can even do modified versions of lion's breath if you want, and just inhale and then really exhale, opening up your mouth. Just hoping that relaxes you. And today's poem I have for you is by a woman named Okie Howe. And it was written a number of years ago when she was 80 years old. And it's titled Winter. On a bright winter day, right after it snowed, I'm off on my skis up the old mountain road. I rest on a log at the top of the hill and sit still a while, all quiet and still. The woods are so lovely, the snow is so deep. The whole world around me is soundly asleep. I listen and look, and there's not a sound. Just the wonder of winter. It's here all around. The sturdy old oak trees and the birches so white, the maples and the beeches, the shadows and light. I'm part of it all in my own quiet way, just looking and loving each bright winter day. My winter wings are my cross-country skis. I'll fly or I'll light wherever I please. How lucky am I? I'm alive and so well. And winter's my season. I guess you can tell.